Well, say hello.
The dead have risen from the grave.
Mister, there's 100 of those things.
So, have you guys seen that movie, Night of the Living Dead?
Classic movie.
Yeah. Well, in 1985, Dan O'Bannon directed a meta sequel to that movie based on a novel by John Russo called Return of the Living Dead. And we're going to talk about that movie here today. Happy Halloween and welcome to Bomb Squad Matinee. I'm your host, Tim M. Sullivan, but since it's Halloween, I'm dressed as the fucking Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. And with me I had...
I had to do this last second. I couldn't do my costume yet in this situation. But just think of, insert cowboy character here.
Hello, I'm Cody Suizo, but as you can tell, I'm dressed as the fucking nerd. You wanna know something? This game sucks.
True. You know what doesn't suck? The movie we're talking about today, Return of the Living Dead. Return of the Living Dead is a rockin' good time. But before we get into that rockin' good time, I want to bring us into our warm-up question because this is a pretty well-renowned horror comedy film, and we've talked about a few horror comedies on the show. They're a good time. There's a lot to enjoy with those. So my question for you is, what is your favorite horror comedy? We'll start with Rein.
Shit, I didn't get a chance to see the question, and so I will go with a movie I've not seen in a long time, but, it's like the number one movie you bring up when you don't want to just say Evil Dead 2, because you want to be at least a little bit more creative, and that is Brain Dead. That's the original title, right?
Yeah, Brain Dead or Dead Alive, yeah.
I prefer Brain Dead. Dead Alive just sounds awkward. But anyway, I guess that will be my answer. Goddamn, I don't think I've seen it since at least college. But maybe the most like fun. It feels weird to say fun, I guess, when you're talking about gore. No, it doesn't. I made it weird just saying. Never mind. But the lawnmower scene. I didn't prepare for this at all. But man, that lawnmower scene, it's so great. Yeah. And it's also great when the priest is like, I'm a priest, and then he hits people still. I don't know. Sorry, I didn't plan for this one.
He kicks ass for the Lord.
That is all. Yeah, he kicks ass for the Lord. And I, as a cowboy with old-fashioned, very Christian beliefs, is cool. Thinks that's cool. I don't know. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you, Rein. Very cool. Yeah, I also have not seen Brain Dead / Dead Alive in quite some time, but I remember it very fondly, and it's crazy that the guy who made that went on to make the fucking Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you, follow your dreams, make that fucked up movie. You might make one of the most acclaimed movies ever made afterwards. Cody. What's your favorite horror comedy?
Well, you know what? My answer was going to be Evil Dead 2, but after Rein's little sly remark there, I kind of don't want to talk about Evil Dead 2 now. Also, but I am going to talk about it later. That's why I was going to actually just use my already preset backup answer, because I like shoving old movies down people's throats. And the concept of a horror comedy before like 1980s is a little perplexing to a lot of people, so that's why I want to talk about Abbott and Costello's meets Frankenstein.
Hey.
A very loose definition of horror, I would argue, in nowadays terms, but I mean back then, a lot of people thought Frankenstein was terrifying. They had to censor the shit out of it, so yeah, super scary. But to have these comedy legends just kind of just take the piss with it and just. I think the thing that makes this movie special is that they have a lot of actual big actors here, so it's not just a parody, a stainless face. Bela Lugosi's in there as Count Dracula, Lon Chaney Jr. is in there as well. I don't think they got Boris Karloff for that, if I remember correctly. I think it was someone else, but a lot of big name actors too. So it's just an overall just fun time. If you want to see somebody parodying a movie back when movies were more proper, more serious. That's kind of just the 40s in general, where they were like early ages of just taking the piss. So that's gonna be my answer, because I'll talk about Evil Dead 2 later. Back to you, Tim.
That's a great choice.
Hell yeah. I haven't seen that. Like, I do kind of want to, just out of curiosity. I haven't seen much out in Castillo in general, to be honest. But yeah, that does sound like something that would be fun to watch. A good early horror comedy. Yeah, good picks all around. Like we've kind of alluded to, like we've already talked about a lot of the good horror comedies on the show, the Evil Dead trilogy, Reanimator, House, all very good movies. But for my pick, I'm going to go with Frank Henenlotter's Brain Damage. It is a very interesting creature horror comedy thing where this little guy named Aylmer just kind of goes into this guy's brain and gives him a nice jolt, and he sort of has to deal with this addiction while this creature is eating people. It's very weird, very funny. Like, if you enjoyed Frankenhooker or Basket Case, it's that brand of schlocky humor, and just a really, really bizarre and strange, but ultimately still funny movie. Weirdly, like, dark in some places. It's just one that I always recommend, because I think it doesn't get talked about quite as much in like mainstream circles. It's an interesting picture. I would recommend checking it out. And with that said, we're gonna get into the picture of our Halloween episode, Return of the Living Dead.
Who's there?
We will start with Cody. What are your thoughts on Return of the Living Dead?
Oh boy, let's see if I can comprehend my thoughts, because I just saw this for the first time very recently, aka yesterday. So I have a lot to say. But first, I should mentioned what I was going to talk about earlier, which was Evil Dead 2. Because in my pantheon of what I consider like the best of the best, Evil Dead 2 is one of my favorite films of all time.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm afraid that this film right here might give it some competition.
Mm-hmm.
This film is this is a perfect zombie film right here. Like, I'm just gonna say it right now. If you 5 stars, 5 stars. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We can just end that right there. But I think what I love about this movie so much compared to I think actually let's break it down to its source material, which is Night of the Living Dead. Classic zombie movie, plays it straight. Very iconic, one of the best zombie films of all time. Return of the Living Dead is, as you alluded to earlier, kind of like a meta sequel of the sorts, which is very interesting given the fact that there are sequels to Night of the Living Dead by George A. Romero. In fact, around the same time, the real third sequel, Day of the Dead, was already out in theaters. So I know that caused a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo. I don't remember how that worked out, but anyways, It's a very interesting perspective, compared to those movies, which, are very serious, tell it as it is, and, provide these very, deep intellectual commentaries about zombies, big people. This film, I was always kind of afraid that if I watched it, it's like, oh, this is just going to be 80s zombie schlock, and this isn't going to be very, interesting. I was so wrong. Holy shit. This film is just as deep as any of those Romero films. And it collides with this 80s. It's like if you had serious zombie film, witty 80s film, and they're just together. It's these two worlds that are represented by the opening with the two warehouse workers just trying to work a shift, and then just unleashing this unknown chemical that they don't know what to do, and it's all serious because over the course of the film it fucks them up to the point where they're literally just rotting, and it's one of the gnarliest looking things. It's so gross, but it's so cool. It's such a very beautiful effect. I know a lot of the visual effects haven't aged the best in this film, the yellow zombie looks a little weird, but most of the effects still look really good even to this day. And to clash those serious scenes with this these punk rockers just fucking around, and it never felt boring. It never felt like it was just like, you know, filling like time. Like if it almost felt like the like they were all like actual parodies of themselves and they were aware. I like the I forgot the line in particular, but it was like when I think it was Mark Venturi's character. He was like monologuing how like nobody takes him seriously, how this is a lifestyle, man, and like, and he's just being like hugged up on this girl. He's like, get off me, like he's trying to be
have
serious.
Some respect for the dead.
Yeah.
Have some respect for the dead. It's so funny, and how everything in that scene sets up for like the zombies coming back. Every character in this film's great, you know, like I can't name them all, but like they're all fantastic. And when the zombies finally do, you know, return and the soundtrack finally kicks into 11, oh my gosh, it's just like, it's phenomenal. The editing is, I think the biggest comedy, like the comic of this entire film is none of the actors. It's the editing. It is so, like, it will like drag you from a very funny scene to a very serious scene back and forth very rapidly. And you just don't know how to feel, so you're just kind of forced to laugh. It's really just, it's just, oh my goodness, it's just so good. And you know, have this like comedy and this horror just dancing together until the very end, where like both worlds literally, you know, because you have the warehouse people and you have like the punk people just like forced to work together until there's very few of them left. You know, they just have to like, you know, call the number, the Holy Grail, and then boom, it just ends. Just blunt as an atom bomb. Like, it's just, it's such a funny, because, you know, you're used to like the fun, and it's almost kind of like it's like an antithesis of the Night of the Living Dead ending, where, you know, it's like humble then tragic. This one is like fuck your humbleness, boom, everyone dies. And oh my god, it's just such a perfect film. I mean, like, there might be problems with it, like, I think like the whole like sometimes it's hard to tell like when people are supposed to turn into zombies or not. Like, I feel like there's certain like people that should have been zombies by now when some immediately are. That's a little weird, but it's a very minor thing, a very minor issue in what is otherwise, I think, a perfect film. And it might even be better than Evil Dead 2. I don't know. I might have to rewatch Evil Dead 2 to say that. I don't know. That feels sacrilege to me, but like, God, man, like, the effects, the music, the characters, the editing, you know, I love when a movie drags me along for editing. So overall, I mean, perfect film. Back to you, Tim.
Hell yeah, good stuff. Cycling back to the stuff you're talking about with like the Romero films coming out when this was coming out. So basically what happened was, after Night of the Living Dead, George Romero and John Russo had different opinions on what to do going forward, so they just kind of agreed to go their separate ways and do different things. And John Russo had the rights to the Living Dead movies, and Romero just had like Of the Dead, which, you know, it's interesting seeing like all the ways Night of the Living Dead forks into all these different series. And like, you even loop in like the Lucio Fulci zombie movie is technically tied to this franchise. There's just a weird kind of tree of zombie movies.
Just a whole mass of zombies, just spread everywhere.
Exactly.
Copyright law is funny.
Truly. All right, Rein. We both watched this movie in a class 6 years ago. I'm curious what your thoughts on this film are.
Why did you remind me how many years ago that was? How dare you, you piece of shit. Let me start by clarifying. Evil Dead 2, the reason I was picking on it, not because like it's basic to say it's your favorite horror comedy. It's just because it is the, you know, it's the most correct answer. Which you know, where it's like I don't know, be more clever, I guess, or at least that's my mind. Well, actually no, because it is. I'm like Cody. I would say it's a tough one for me. At the end of the day, I would say Evil Dead 2 is probably just a little bit below Return of the Living Dead for me. Favorite horror comedy. maybe my favorite horror movie, period. There's a, I don't know, there's a couple movies that, go back and forth like this. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a few others.
That's
that
the one
names
I
don't
was gonna
remember.
say. That's my favorite horror movie,
Yeah.
hands down.
Yeah, it's just, it's so beautiful, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about Return of the Living Dead. I agree. I would say it's a perfect movie. It is, gives you plenty of laughs, gives you all the adrenaline and fearful catharsis you can get from a horror movie. It fun cast of characters. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a deep moving cast, but it's fun. It's amazing effects. I even like the weird Simpsons zombie. It's definitely an improvement of how how it was like in earlier shoots and all that for like reshoots and getting a new effects guy and all that. But yeah, I would say if I were to be negative, it's not really a negative, but full disclosure, I was hoping to see this leading up to this review, but it's been like 2 or 3 years at least. Actually, probably no, like at least 4 years. So I don't remember it too well. So a lot of what I'm saying is vague. But like my one kind of sort of negative, but not really a negative. But I don't have a lot to say. So I'm gonna say is like I feel like goddamn my brain. It's I love how like it rides the line between like you were saying earlier, Cody, very hilarious but also just like tragic and like very dour and depressing all at once. And it's amazing for that reason, but I do feel like it makes me a little less in a hurry to rewatch it, which I guess is funny when I say it's my favorite horror movie, but it's like as fun as it is, unlike say Evil Dead 2 or Brain Dead, where you can watch, those are just fun times like anytime. Just you can pop those bad boys open anytime. I feel like I can't quite say this for Return of the Living Dead. I feel like sometimes if you're a little too I don't know, if you're a little scared about mortality, your mortality, if you're a little scared about the environment, nuclear war, all those things, if you're feeling real down about that and you're needing something to pick you up, don't pick this movie. But that's really the only flaw.
Definitely not.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. Otherwise, though, yeah, no. Perfect blend of comedy and horror. It's even if you're only judging it by one of those factors, it's more than great enough. And then you got all the other aspects of it. Like I said, though, it's been a while, so my commentary might be grinding to a halt. So back to you, Tim.
Hell yeah, good stuff. All right, my time to shine. Hello. Yeah, this movie fucking rocks. It's so good. Yeah, like you've been saying, excellent blend of comedy and horror. Like I think it gets it just right, where like all the comedy stuff is like genuinely funny, and all the horror stuff is like genuinely horrific. Which I feel like a lot of horror comedies don't get quite right. And like what Rein was talking about, like it gets really genuinely disturbing with certain aspects, like particularly the one zombie on the table talking about how she feels her flesh rotting, which is like not something you get in other zombie media, really. Like it's genuinely one of the most fucked up like portrayals of zombies I think in any fiction, and like one of the rare ones where like you have the zombies talking at all, but it works. It's
scarier.
Works, yeah, it works that they have personalities. I appreciate that about this movie, and like all the zombies have character. Particularly, I'm surprised he hasn't been brought up. The fucking man, the myth, the legend, motherfucking Tar Man. Tar Man is one of the coolest fucking horror monster designs ever. I fucking love Tar Man. Tar Man is the GOAT. And yeah, the weird yellow man is like kind of goofy looking, but I kind of love it too. That fucking half woman on the table is again genuinely disturbing. And like all the other characters all have great designs. Like all the punkers all have their own kind of distinct vibe to them. And you know, you gotta love that. Like Trash has her own vibe. She's just doing her thing. And then
I keep forgetting her name is Trash.
Her name is Trash, and like I will say this: the people on the Bomb Squad will know that for a little while I had this on the schedule as a movie night because like I love this movie enough that I would edit it as a movie night, but I just did not have the time to do that. Especially since I would have to spend so much of the edit just censoring Linnea Quigley's tits and ass all over the video. God. And it's very funny that she's just horning up on everybody to the point that everybody's just like, all right, stop. You're making everybody uncomfortable. And you know, Suicide. He's got his own vibe. He's very much talking about how it's a lifestyle. And Spider. He's got his sort of warrior aesthetic. Yeah, all the characters are all fun in their own ways. And yeah, the humor is really good. I love when like right at the beginning of the movie, the guy's just showing him the zombie in the tank, and he's just like, no, nothing can break through this. Fuck. Like just perfect comedic timing there. It's so good. I watched this with my fiance, who hadn't seen the whole movie before, but as we were watching it, she was just like, this beginning part is really familiar. Like she had seen, I guess, up to the graveyard scene, but it's one of those movies that, like, even if you've only seen that little bit of it, like that just sticks in your brain. Brains. This was the first movie, or potentially the first movie where zombies were going after brains. It was like the trendsetter of that archetype of zombies, which is that's neat. And yeah, I do like you were saying, Rein, like there's definitely some bleakness to this movie, and particularly in that ending of just they call the number and bomb. They just nuke the shit out of everybody, and it doesn't solve the problem. It just makes more acid rain, which makes more zombies. Which, you know, that does feel like what would actually happen in this situation. It's a little fucked up. It's a little too real. Yeah, they're trying to make something into nothing, and they can't do that. The genie is out of the bottle, and it's just gonna keep getting worse. But yeah, excellent film. A lot to love about it, and we'll get more into our favorite bits from the film after a brief commercial break. Stick around for the party.
Hello?
Yeah. I'm calling the number stenciled on the side of the tank.
I see. Yes, I see. Of course. Thank you for your assistance, Mr. Wilson.
Hey, listen. You hear anything?
What the fuck?
Welcome back, party people. Time for another ad. MoviePalette.com. It's a website that contains art pieces with thin lines representing the dominant color of each frame of a movie. I got one up there for the film Mandy. You can find one for any movie that you want. There's probably one for Return of the Living Dead. There might be one for Night of the Living Dead. You can get some black and white strips, or you can get the 1990 one. That one's got color. You can get any movie you want, even if they don't have it on the website. You can get one custom made for a little extra. Just go to moviepalette.com and use the promo code SQUAD15 to save 15% on your order. Alright, back to the show. Let's open it up for some general discussion. Has anybody got anything they want to start with?
I mean, I could just talk more about the film, honestly, because I just fucking love this film. Also, you took my little fun tidbit about the whole zombies same brains. It's weird that this is the film that introduced that. You'd feel like it's like, I mean, I'm not saying Return of the Living Dead isn't iconic, but you'd think it'd be something like instantly recognizable that would introduce the brains.
Yeah.
But no, it's this film.
Yep.
It's kind of weird, and also like actually eating brains. That's something that this film pioneered, which is very interesting. But
yeah, and like it doesn't look quite as gnarly in most depictions as it does in this one. Tarman just fucking grabs that guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that scene is the gore is like fucking brutal in this. Like you just see their like it's some rough shit. It's kind of beautiful. But I was talking back to favorite kind of bits. Honestly, I think a lot of my favorite scenes, even though like the zombies and the punks are all fun, I think it really involves like the two warehouse workers, like Frank and Freddy. Like they're just, I think their kind of tragic like downfall is just so terrible. But like the panicky way that they go through like the movie is so like realistic. I think that's what sells them, is that like it's like as someone we've all worked. We all have jobs, so we know when shit hits the fan and you're just kind of like thrown against the wall. Like I think the scene that I always remember is when like Frank is panicking, figuring out like who to call, like what do we do, and he's like, oh, you should call the cops. It's like, oh no, we don't want to call the cops here, and then just keep going back and forth, and he's like, oh, we gotta call the boss, and he's like all sweating, nervous. He sits down and he just goes, hey. And then the scene cuts. It doesn't even tell you the conversation. You just get to see that brief, like, fake smile, and it's just over. It's so funny. And like I said before in my my talks, like the way that like they because like they kind of explained it through the movie through I forget the character's name, but like the whole like rigor mortis thing, which this movie does an excellent job in the first like third setting up stuff for the actual movie to explain later. The rigor mortis stuff that the people go it's so fucking like disgusting, and it's kind of horrible because it's like I think most zombie media really focuses on like you get bitten, and it's kind of like I feel like it's less about how it feels and it's more about like the emotional side, like I'm gonna turn into a zombie, everyone's gonna hate me. No, this movie's just kind of like, because like most of these two are generally separated from most of those besides like the younger one, but like Frank is separated from his like wife or whoever, so it's like you just watch him just slowly fucking like wither away, and it's like explained in immense detail, like, and slowly too, like the scene where they're like moving him and the joints, like like the sound design there is just so fucking gross. And when it ends with like Frank literally like tossing himself in the incinerator, like that scene is so like set to that like that synth like song, I forgot the name of the song, but like it is so fucking sad. Just like willingly just throw yourself into the inferno just to just not feel anymore. That's like, that gets under your skin. That's just, it's so well done.
Going back to the brains thing for a second though, like I read something in the trivia that like I guess certain extras were paid extra money to eat like real calf brains. And Dan O'Bannon actually like ate some calf brains first because he wanted to show that he wouldn't make anybody do something he wouldn't be willing to do himself.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I kind of love that.
King director behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Gotta eat some brains sometimes to make a movie.
Yeah. Can't make an omelet without eating a few brains.
Yeah. Dude, the zombies are clever bastards in this film too. Can we talk about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
You know, they're usually just slow walkers, just like slow, like ooh. But like, not only are they fast as fuck in this film, which you know, zombie media usually goes back and forth on if they want. I think it's like once a decade do they decide if they want fast zombies or not.
Yeah.
So they decide.
Seems
no
like
again.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not only do they like run, but like they set up little traps and everything. They're calling them just like send more cops.
Yeah.
And then they just like the second they're there, boom! They just bomb rush them. It's so like I mean, it's a little silly, but it also is just like, you know, these are just undead people, so it's like, you know, they got a little bit of brain in there, I guess. So
yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Is like I love that like the zombies kind of have character to them, and yeah, they are clever, they are smart, they are gonna fuck you up. Yeah,
it just sells that like something that a lot of zombie media doesn't do is that there's just no winning this fight. Like there's 100 of them, you know, like one person has a gun at best, and like they can't, and like these are like not even like traditional zombies. You can't, you know, oh, I hit the head. That worked in the fucking movie. Well, this is the movie, so
the movie lied.
The movie lied. That they like make the Night of the Living Dead like some sort of like government cover up is kind of funny too. But no, it's just I think like I think the humor comes in the blunt realism of like, yeah, if zombies just start roaming, you don't have a gun on you. You're just at home.
Yeah.
You might be able to board up windows at best. Them boarding up shit, that's probably like best case scenario right there.
Yeah.
And so that's just more hopeless as time goes on. It's just like, oh my god, it just does so much of what it sets up so much of what zombie films did for like the several decades prior, and it does so much better than what many zombie films did like several decades later. It's crazy how like much of a pinnacle this movie is.
Yeah, for sure. And like just the way the zombification spreads in this movie, like airborne zombification is probably the fucking like most brutal. Like you're done. You're done
at that point. Hey,
like if it's just guys biting you, you know, maybe that can be contained, maybe that can be survived. Airborne zombification, no,
you
done.
believe that shit? I mean, hey, you know,
it's Jover.
We went through an airborne virus, and you know, so it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat. So.
Yeah.
Oh man, like I feel like this is one of those movies where you can just like ramble on all day about. Like, there's just so many like really funny scenes, really sad scenes, like especially near the end when like the girlfriend of Freddy's like in like the attic, and he's like kind of like begging for her to come down but taunting her. It's this weird blend of you don't know what part of his mind is still there.
Yeah,
you don't know if he's like begging or like taunting. It's so like disturbing. Of course, that freeze frame right when he jumps out before, you know, obviously, you know, bomb drops.
Yeah,
is man, I genuinely don't think I don't think there's a single like bad scene in here. Like you know, you everyone knows me. I'm the bitch boy of Bomb Squad, and yet like I got nothing, man. I genuinely this is a 10 out of 10 movie right here.
We found Cody's jam. We did it.
We did it. And it's not a movie from the 30s, guys. I can like movies again.
Yeah. It's in color.
It's in color.
Sorry, my connection is very bad. On top of realizing, wow, I really thought the words would just like, or the thoughts would just come boring once we got going. But man, I don't remember this movie well, other than just feeling it, just perfect bliss and love and like appreciation for it. But sometimes I guess that ain't enough for you to get your brain thinking. I was trying to think of a cowboy joke because I just remembered I'm still dressed as a cowboy, I guess. Sorry, I thought I was going to end at a point, but I guess I'm not.
Yeehaw.
It's okay, Rein. I could talk for 2 people right now. I got a lot. I can keep going if I gotta.
Well, I'm glad if of all of the great movies we discussed, I'm glad that this was the one that you decided. Oh, actually, no, everyone's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I decided to not be a contrarian for once because I watched a film with
Finally.
zombie tits, I guess that's all it takes.
There we go. Yeah,
that's what all
we
these
were
great films
also
are missing, guys.
we were also expecting a fair bit more people on this recording, but people were busy. I'm busy. I'm getting married soon, but I got a host.
Yeah, what's their
so
excuse?
There's no excuse for me.
They're dead.
Yeah, there's the zombies. They're going after the brains. Brains.
Oh, that line. That like I've heard brains so many times. Yet when that specific zombie says it, it sounds so much more intimidating.
Yeah.
Like every other zombie's like, oh, that's just what they say. But when this zombie says, it's like, no, that is a threat. That is a target.
Yeah. When
when
Tarman says brains, you run.
He doesn't just say brains. After he gets one, he looks over.
More brains.
Like, shit, I was fine with one. Like 5 more? Okay.
Yeah. I love the, like, puppeteering they do with him, too. Like,
Oh, yeah, he's so gangly. And, man, when they knock his fucking block off near the end, that's so...
Bam!
Because I was like, oh, how are they gonna, like, take care of that zombie? And it's just like, oh, that's how.
Yeah, like, I do just love him visually. Like, obviously, he has such a gnarly design, but the way he moves too is like he's such a Jim Henson ass zombie, and I love that.
He does move like a.
Now I'm just trying to imagine him in like Labyrinth or Fraggle Rock.
Yeah. just stick him right in the Dark Crystal. It'll blend in just fine.
Yeah. Don't worry too much. I think I mentioned it earlier, but dude, this soundtrack's really fucking good too. It's that classic 80s overproduced synth bullshit, but like it fits this movie. So I mean, party time when that skeleton props up and you hear, "Do you want a party?" Like you're just like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah.
Fuck. I think that's probably one of the best needle drops I've seen in a hot minute. That's just like, because you're pumped now, because you know you're about to watch some people get fucked over.
Yeah, like the score is pretty generic synth, but like it's still good. It's still good synth, and then
it's almost like better that it's generic though, because of like this being returned. It kind of just like when it clashes with the realism, it makes it that much funnier.
Yeah, and like you were saying, the soundtrack it's just banging. Do You Want to Party is excellent. Just all the songs on there. It just such a killer fucking punk soundtrack. Absolutely love it.
There was one of the performers for this is the Flesh Eaters, and I bet you they were chosen just for the name alone.
Yeah, there you go.
And the Cramps.
Yeah,
great fucking name.
The Cramps.
Hey, they're one of the they're one of my faves, so don't you dare. You didn't insult them, but.
I didn't know you cramped like that, Rein. I'm sorry. I'll back off.
Don't cramp Rein style.
Don't cramp.
Yeah.
I won't.
I'm the main guy from this has nothing to do with the movie. I'm the main guy from Near Dark, which is another movie that has a Cramp song in the soundtrack. Great movie. Probably like it's up there in my Mount Rushmore horror movies, where the movie we're talking about is, which is. Now we're back on topic.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. What else of it? I'm trying to think of like the one thing I haven't like talked about, but I feel like I kind of turned every stone.
It is hard to talk about like comedy movies that are just so good at a certain point. It's just you going, it's so good.
I mean that's just the problem with any movie that you're like really into. It's like. It's almost easier to talk about a movie that's like kind of in the middle there, but I mean, I agree. Like also for also I think the thing is like for like the actual like script or like I guess the story itself, is relatively straightforward. It's not like I
Yeah.
don't think the story itself is like trying to be this like revolutionary like concept. It's generally just like they fuck up,
They find out.
zombies. They find out.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate fuck around and find out movie. I mean, that's like
Yeah.
it's a simple
That's true.
concept, brilliant execution. That's all you really need. Because like I said, like
Yeah.
I think you mentioned this earlier, but like comedy horror is really difficult to do because it's very easy to just make horror the set piece.
Yeah.
Rather than the actual like, because you know it's two genres. This movie, you know, it understands two genres and knows how to blend them together compared to like a lot of other horror comedies where they're just like it's a comedy but it's in like a haunted house. Boo. Like
Right.
that's
Yeah.
like this film knows how to get laughs and to like get you like all squeamish. It's like it's a perfect film.
Yeah.
I don't know what else
Yeah.
to say. It's
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting.
It's rare.
Unlike
yeah.
damn it, sorry. Well, unlike unlike a movie like Superman, which is a movie I love, but like I don't know, there's a lot of movies I love where I'm like, but I still can critique the hell out of it. But then you just have something like this where I love it, and I can't really complain about it. It's just it's perfect at what it's going for.
Yeah, exactly. And like, if you want just like a deadly serious horror movie, this isn't gonna be it. But I mean,
Just go watch the Romero films then. At that point.
Well, and like that's kind
Yeah.
of what the original John Russo story kind of was going for, from what I understand. I haven't read the novel, but I guess Dan O'Bannon, when he was picked to direct it, he was just like, I will not direct this as it's written. And so that's when they added in like a lot of the comedy stuff and just sort of making it something different than just those movies.
It's way for because if it came out as a serious movie around the same time as another serious like zombie movie from John Romero, it would just kind of just feel like redundant at that point. I think the comedy, it lets it stick out way more. And honestly, I think, you know, for the longest time, I think more people talked about Return of the Living Dead over Day of the Dead, because I know Day of the Dead at the time wasn't as well liked as Dawn or Night, but it's gotten its flowers in later years. I know it's a well-beloved movie too.
I still haven't seen Day of the Dead. I was actually gonna see it this week, but just couldn't make any of the show times.
I haven't seen it either, but I was talking to a coworker about it earlier today, and he loves that movie too. So it's a really good film. It's just as good as Night or Dawn, but Return isn't trying to be Romero. It's trying to be its own thing, and I think that lets it stand out way more.
Yeah, exactly. It's very much like it is revolutionary in just how it kind of takes that original text and does something completely new and innovative with it. And like we've said, it basically it invented so many like tropes that have been done to death now, like the brains, and like it I think I also read was like one of the first movies to have fast zombies. And like again,
I mean, I can't think of any others.
That's sort of a thing, like you were saying, that kind of goes back and forth. I feel like fast zombies is something that has to be done right, and like this movie does it right. 28 Days Later does it right.
If you count Games, Left 4 Dead does it right too.
Yeah, like it's a tricky thing to execute properly, but yeah, when done right, and like this movie again, like because like you were saying, like they just fucking ambush the shit out of people.
Yeah. Well, I think most modern like zombie stuff doesn't do the fast zombies is because they want their leads to stand a chance. They want the story to be more dramatic.
Yeah.
And if you have fast zombies, you're basically like forced to play defense the entire time, which makes this film way more interesting because you just feel like you're being like ambushed, like you're being like just dogpiled by something you don't know how to deal with. Compared to a lot of other zombie movies where you know, you generally have probably more of an advantage because you know you have guns and stuff, and they're generally like body wise they're weaker. So it's just kind of one of those things where I feel like, you know, it's more interesting to watch like an underdog story here, even though like, the underdog doesn't get his fucking treats at the end. But
right, yeah, Yeah, 100%.
But at the end but in the end, that's realistic, you know. Sometimes things just end with a giant bomb, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, Night of the Living Dead and this both kind of have that tragic ending of, guess what? The hero doesn't make it. But this one's just like, guess what? Neither does anybody else. Everyone's fucked.
The entire block, because they can just nuke that very specific block, no problem. Also, was that weird? Like, I was wondering if that that part where they're like loading up the missile. I wonder if that's like it was like early CG or where that was like a stop motion thing. It looked really weird.
I think that was stop motion. The frame rate looks very stop motion.
Because I thought it was really early CG, but I remember it's like 85, so I was like, that's probably not. It had that stop motion-y effect. It stuck out to me, kind of. It's kind of like the Yellow Zombie in the way it kind of stuck out to me, but like that's just one of those things that just aged, you know. But that's like that's a very minor issue. I
like that though. Like I think that's the kind of thing that's charming to me and how it ages. Like I love a little bit of like noticeable stop motion.
Well, stop motion always is classic. Stop motion is always welcome in this household. We love stop motion here.
Like it's this sort of thing that I kind of struggle with when I talk about movies with my parents, because like they just see like the improvements in CGI and they just think all these new movies look so much better, and I'm just like they don't have the same character though. Like
where's the pizzazz?
Yeah, like I like seeing the strings. The strings are good actually.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be all jaded where it's like, oh, the old stuff's better, CGI sucks. Because, like, CGI has its place, and it can look phenomenal.
For sure,
but,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I like treating film the same way you treat, like, music or, like, painting or, like opera, where, you know, that's kind of where it, like, originates from, you know? Just on a stage, seeing all of, like, the bells and whistles faintly. I don't know. It's just a nice feeling. I like it when... like even a film is like kind of late into the 80s is still kind of using the old tricks.
Yeah, 100%.
Agreed.
One thing I do want to bring up, because Ethan was supposed to be on this episode and he would know more about this than me, but there was a manga of Return of the Living Dead. It was in a shoujo magazine, funnily enough. I think it was called Monthly Halloween, but like they did mangas of like Return of the Living Dead, Reanimator, Nightmare on Elm Street. So that's just kind of a funny thing. Is like there was a girls manga of Return of the Living Dead. I just kind of love that.
Interesting.
Which also that kind of relates to another one of the trivia things I read, because apparently Dan O'Bannon was just like so sure that this movie was just gonna be bringing in all of the horny dudes because of all the topless chicks in the movie, but then like on early screenings he was like really surprised by how many women were going to see it and how popular it was with women, and he was just like, if I had known that this is going to be so popular with women, I would have had some more naked guys in there.
There was a lot of good guys in the movie. Yeah. Just telling it as it is.
Yeah.
It is also funny that, like, I always forget her name's fucking trash, but it is funny that, like, first off, her death is kind of, like, foreshadowing her little, like, horny monologue about death. And also, like, despite the fact that she gets just, like, eaten to shred, like, eaten all over, like, when she reappears as a zombie, she's, like, totally totally fine.
She's just pale.
You don't want to mess up the body. You know,
you don't want to mess up
put good money into that body. And I like the fucking just random homeless dude that's just like what the fuck is this? And he just dies.
Yeah.
It's another day in Louisville. Yeah, this is a place in fucking Louisville
on the 4th of July weekend.
Poor bastards.
Happy 4th. Boom.
But yeah, also in the intro, St. Louis mention. Woo!
Oh yes, St. Louis mention. I literally pointed and said St. Louis mention when they did the St. Louis mention.
Anytime a film mentions St. Louis, now I go,
oh yeah.
Oh, I know that place. I'm right over there.
Got a Leo.
I love speaking of, I love Tim. I love your I recently saw Frankenhooker, and I really love your review on Letterboxd.
Oh yeah, there is a
Arch.
St. Louis reference. He's okay. So for people who haven't seen Frankenhooker,
So me.
basically this dude is trying to make the perfect woman out of prostitute parts, and he like measures the curvature of a woman's ass cheek and goes, "It's just like the St. Louis Arch," which is the best St. Louis mention in the history of cinema.
You know, I think it's gonna be impossible to top that one. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Which was really, I feel like there's not a lot this movie you can say does worse than other movies, but I guess that is one. It does not have the best St. Louis Arch reference.
That's
Not
true.
a perfect movie.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, they can't all be winners, but it's still got plenty of winners. It's a winner of a movie. And with that said, I feel like we're running out of steam. We're getting close. So let's get into our final thoughts. We'll start with Cody.
My final thoughts? This film is so bad. And I mean 80s bad. I'm talking fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Every aspect of this film is great. Like, if you're watching this on Premiere, which you should because you love us, go watch this before Halloween ends. You need to go watch this. It's on Amazon Prime. You all got a Prime account. I know you. Go watch it before Halloween ends, because this is like, I mentioned something that's like, this is a movie you watch all the time, and that feels like a situational movie. Every October from now on, this is going on, and probably multiple times. Perfect movie. No notes.
Yes, definitely watch this before Halloween ends. You don't even need to watch Halloween Ends, honestly. Sorry, Tanner. Final thoughts.
You should have seen it, Tanner.
I will say, I think the image of this movie that I think best symbolizes the tone is the bit with the dog that's cut in half that comes back to life.
Yeah,
where it's like, oh, that's
mention that.
Yeah, where it's both like darkly hilarious, but also just like sad. But also it's like, oh, hey, that's a real clever thing you're doing there with the effects there. And yeah, perfect. Perfect in every way. Back to you, Tim.
Hell yeah, good shit. Yeah, final thoughts. Return of the Living Dead, fucking awesome movie. I like we've been talking about how it relates to the Evil Dead movies. Like, the original Evil Dead is one of my favorite movies of all time, so I wouldn't put it above that. Evil Dead 2, it's pretty fucking neck and neck. It's such an excellent and clever movie, and just so fun. If you like horror, if you like comedy, if you like zombies, this is definitely one to watch. Go check it out whatever way you can. One thing that I did realize is that I think Fox was somehow affiliated with this movie, which means it's tangentially a Disney movie.
Yeah! This is the best fucking Disney movie then.
Yeah, Trash is my favorite Disney princess.
True.
But you know who else is my favorite Disney princess? You, the person watching / listening to this episode of Bomb Squad Matinee. Thank you for tuning in for this spooktacular Halloween episode. If you are listening on the audio platforms, please give us a review. Helps boost us in the algorithm, potentially. We just appreciate the feedback. Anything that you have to say about the episodes, tell your coworkers about us. Maybe they'll enjoy our takes. Or just find us charming. I don't know. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching on YouTube. Leave a comment below. Let us know. What did you think of Return of the Living Dead? Is it your favorite horror comedy? Is it your favorite zombie movie? Have you seen that movie Night of the Living Dead? And do you want a party? Comment below and let us know. And while you're down there, hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Hit the bell icon to get updates on when we upload stuff. If you want to support us further, check out our Patreon. $5 tier gets you access to commentary tracks. We are trying to get the ball rolling on that again sometime soon. We've just been terminally busy this year. But yeah, $5 tier gets you the commentary tracks, and the $10 tier gets you a shout out at the end of the episode. So many thanks to Tanya Kraft. We appreciate your continued patronage of our channel. And we appreciate you giving us the gift of Tanner.
Yeah.
And if you want to support us in another way,
patronage.
Truly. I love you, Rein. Never change. If you want to support the channel in another way, where you get a physical item, go to bombsquadproductions.shop. You can get t-shirts. Oh, he's gonna Superman us!
I gotta...
Oh shit! He's got the shirt!
Oh!
I always wear my uniform!
That's right! You can get Bomb Squad Productions shirt just like Cody's got. We also have hats, stickers, posters. You can get plenty of stuff that has Tanner's face on it. You pick your choice.
I forgot about those.
Yeah, lots of cool stuff on there. And yeah, once again, thank you for tuning into this episode. And before I introduce what the next episode is going to be, I have a quick little announcement to make, which is that I'm going to be taking a break from the channel for the month of November, because 1 week from tomorrow, as of this episode airing, I'm getting married.
Woo!
Oh wait, I guess
Yeah, there we go.
I'll bring this to
Yeah.
St. Louis.
Thank you for your service. So I'm going to pass the torch off to Cody for editing duties for the month. I'm sure he's going to have some really fun episodes for you. And
we got a lot of good ones coming up, guys.
Yeah, and I'm going to have a really nice time just spending the month with. You guys ready for this? My wife! So that's all very exciting stuff, but I'll be back in December, and in the meantime, you can tune in next week for a Tanner-hosted episode on Tron. Not the new shitty one. Tron Legacy, the good one. Be sure to tune into that one. Thank you all for tuning in, and remember, send more paramedics. Farewell.
Bye, cab folk.
My ticket across the table and I said, "Sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl."